morning, wherever you're watching from across the world. Welcome to Paul's Tribe. Today, I'm just going to have a frank talk, try to make it brief. We finished the presidential elections in Nigeria. It was heavily compromised. Illegality was the order of the day. People were deprived of their votes. Votes were counted, votes were manipulated. INEC were highly compromised, and basically all kinds of crimes and collusion, both with the ruling people, All Progressive Congress, the ruling party in power, the presidential candidates, and also INEC officials. Even in some cases, the military forces that were supposed to secure the votes. We saw cases whereby military men went to scatter what they call it, polling units, take ballot boxes, manipulate figures, and gave the criminal elements cover under military force. We saw lots of vehicles, military people being deployed to Lagos before the elections, and we thought it was to secure the elections. But unfortunately, these same military people were never brought out when all the crimes were being committed in different parts of the country, where pregnant women were being beaten and bashed, where ballot boxes were snatched, where people where results were being burnt, where polling units were scattered, and people were deprived of voting even until as late in the evening. And it's funny because the constitution, which enables the INEC to proclaim a president, everything was violated. Electronic transmission was violated, and collusion centers were all compromised, including the chairman of the INEC. It's a sad tale for Nigeria. For once, I truly believe that Nigeria is now what we will call a failed state because the collusion on all fronts, right from the government of the day to the presidential aspirants, down to the political parties that rigged numbers and deprived one candidate and stole the votes of those candidates and added to their own. And it's just nothing to write home about. I feel ashamed of being called a Nigerian, in as much as I'm a proud believer of the Nigerian project and I love my country very much and I love our people. But when you see people, political elites, and people in power and authority being violating the constitution with reckless abandonment, and basically it's a situation whereby Nigerians have been gang raped, mostly by the presidential candidate of the APC ruling power in government, and also the INEC officials who colluded. Uh, it doesn't speak well. I've lost total faith, total confidence in this country and my family. And basically, we are now in a state whereby we plan and hope that as soon as possible we get out of this country. I've traveled there severally and I've come back, but right now, anywhere else is better than this place because it's just ironic. Even with all the illegalities, we've seen ex-presidents, the former president before the present one, went and celebrating and laughing and hugging someone who came in through in the middle of the night through the windows and snorkeling, and they are congratulating. And we see America, shameless America, congratulating someone who has violated the constitution and who does not even deserve that seat. Someone who hasn't got any foundation, any child, any what do you call it, uh, child history, and we someone who was even compromised in America, and that was set out of court for a drug related charges. It's ironic, but America, you are a disgrace, sir, and you are supporting crimes, you are supporting illegality, and we just have totally lost confidence in your ability to lead. But hey, what do we expect from America? They've had similar problems with Donald Trump, and it's just funny that you look up to them, and at the end, they have no moral compass. But that's by the way. I'm just here today to kind of speak to the hearts of men. Many people are thinking seriously of getting out of the country. And if you are one of those, you feel free to reach out to me. I can help you. There are lots of countries to get out, and the way it is now, in as much as I particularly know that the so-called winner, announced winner, who has been given the certificate of return, will not make it into the House of Villa. But nevertheless, we don't know when the rightful candidate who the masses voted for will attain the seat of power. But when you have a connivance of such high altitude with the American government, with the INEC officials, with the ruling president, with the ruling party in power and everything, and it's despicable, and it's not a place that you want to go live in. You want to do business in. We still have the fact that there's no money in circulation. We cannot access. Everybody's living from hand to mouth. It's just painful. It's like it reminds me of Venezuela, and it's just unfortunate that we call ourselves the giant of Africa. We are only giant of Africa in terms of doing criminal activities, even on the political front. So basically, I and my family, I'm also planning to relocate as soon as possible. It's not worth it. Nigeria is a failed state. Uh, for lack of a better term, I think it's when Trump referred to some African nations as shithole countries, excuse what do you call it, the language, but that's exactly the situation we see. I've been to lots of African countries and I've never seen it this bad in Africa. And I feel totally disappointed. And basically I'll commit my entire essence right now to get as much people as possible live in Nigeria want to get out of this country to other saner, better African climes that will give you constant electricity, that will give you good leadership, that will give you an opportunity in life whereby you can trust the system. So I'm here for you. If you want to travel overseas, Europe, North America, South America, Asia, the Middle East, wherever, I'm here to offer my services to you. And I do not wish Nigeria away for my enemies. But right now, I see that just a few cabals are ruling this country and they messed it up and they are intending to take every one of us to them to the grave. Uh, it's sad that we could actually elect such despicable characters as president-elect. People who cannot even understand where they are, people who do not even appreciate their environment, but rather being led by a few hungry stomach infrastructure people who say who candidate who friends of cronies who want to just benefit from a sick and dying president. Lord help us in this country. I'm not here to rant, although I've ranted, but please forgive me. I'm just here to say there are better climes. Basically, with less than, it's about 5 to 8 million as a single person, you can relocate to many countries across the world. With 10 to 20 million, you can relocate your family and you will live a comfortable lifestyle for the first 6 to 9 months. Visas, tickets, everything inclusive. So if you need to relocate and you want to get out of this country, fine. Be my guest. I'm here for you. Uh, I don't know. It's like I normally like this as a family channel and travel vlog, family vlog, but it also affects the family. We don't have any currencies in circulation. People are struggling. I myself am struggling. I can't even remember the last time I was able to buy what do you call it, chicken or even beef because basically transfers are not working and market women most times want cash. Even cash to go out now is a problem. You can't enter public transport because there's no cash at hand. But it is what it is. Nigeria, get your act together. I just pray the right person who won that election to come into our power. Even as we look up to the gubernatorial elections, the governorship elections coming up on March 10th, things must be better. And I feel sad for many people, millions of people that will still be remain stranded in this country. It's not worth dying for. Nigeria does not do anything for us, and we just suffer the brunt of it. May God help us. May God deliver us, and may we move into a phase of reckoning whereby we come to realization and the youths and the masses actually take the destiny in their hands. I don't believe in violence, but if you cannot fight the forces that be, then the best thing, there are 220 plus countries all over the world and islands. There are lots of places. In fact, I've done much better. I've succeeded much more in a foreign country than here. For 8 weeks now, not a single light, no electricity in my house. The generator has packed up because of overuse. You can't even get petrol to buy unless it's black market. You can't buy food stuff because your money is stuck. And basically, the networks are not working properly. The market women are not collecting transfers, and even they collect, they are asking for a bank to pay extra charges. So it's nothing to write home about. But basically, follow my channel. You'll see lots of travel vlogs and shots that I keep uploading. And there are lots of countries. Good news. Unfortunately, the American government has now decided that Nigerian applicants for visa applicants can get a minimum of 60 months, which is 5 years, as compared to the previous two years visa, tourist and business visa. So right now, if you were to apply for an American visa and you are successful, you get a minimum of 5 years tourist slash business visa, and it's still 160 US dollars. So that's some good news. But we need to get out of this country. We need to We cannot just sit back and be threatened. And when people try to protest peacefully, they send out the tanks that were nowhere to be seen when people were being violated. But what do you expect? We've been gang raped by elites, and God will help us all. It is what it is. I weep for my country. The center cannot hold, and it is terrible what we're experiencing. I've lived long enough to see better times in the country, and my children actually wept when we now saw the crazy manipulation of numbers, when we saw all the shenanigans of the political aspirants and the party. And yes, people, elders, people who have children and grandchildren, people who respected as knowledgeable, educated, disgracing themselves and dancing foolishly, celebrating stolen mandates. Woe unto them and their families. You will all suffer the consequences. Your families remain cursed. Sorry to say, but that's the truth. You cannot fight God. God will fight on behalf of the masses, and we shall one day be liberated and get back to our senses. Nigeria is a blessed land. God help us. See you on the next vlog or short or video. It is what it is, like I keep on saying. And reach out to me if you need to get out, relocate. We'll help you plan, pack, and relocate to a better country, be it in Africa, be it in Europe, be it in North America, South America, and the Caribbean, Asia, the Middle East, anywhere you want to. We are here for you. Do have a nice evening or nice day, and God bless you and your family. God bless Nigerians and the country, our beloved country, Nigeria. See you next time. Bye.